Right, well that's my skateboard off to get fixed. Yeah, no, it's nice in a way because the channel's done quite well. So there's always an upside. Anyway, I better go on because this video's been a bit of a pig and I've got there just about. I need to put some music on it and get it uploaded, and I've got to go get Jasper in a minute as well. Alright, cheers mum, bye. Okay, so this has been a great little holiday that we've all had. I think it's time to get back to normal. And that means, yep, that's right, I'm late. Need to get the car seat out of Soph's car because hopefully my car is still working.
Are you listening? Damn.
Jasper is. Oh. Oh, come on. What, how, I don't, what have they done to my car? Seriously, people? That's not how it's supposed to work. They do say these things come in threes. I suspect it's going to be going back. Might spray a bunch of WD-40 in there first though. Cool, so I got Jasper. Fantastic. Car door's still not working properly. Took a couple of goes and then it opened. It's just, there's obviously a loose connection in there now. Some kind of sensor that probably just needs greasing. I'm just going to give it the one more try, I think. Because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. Yay! Seems to be working now, so maybe a bit of a loose connection. Hopefully nothing to worry about. Let's get you in the house. I'm gonna jump down for me and then I can unlock the door. The only thing that sort of made me nervous about the fact that the door didn't want to open there was in the 2.5 years I've had the car and all the miles I've done, I don't think it's ever actually stuck like that before. Just before we lose the light, I'm going to nip outside. I want to just see if my door is going to cooperate. Definitely not happy. I'm gonna have to bother the Tesla service people again, clearly. Apparently, these cars receive something like 3 or 4 updates a week. And I don't mean software updates, I mean this part's changed or that part's changed. They're constantly getting better. Honestly, I have absolutely no clue how the Tesla software manages and handles all the different possible permutations of hardware in these cars. I can only assume that it was designed really, really well right from the offset to read version numbers and use the appropriate bit of firmware for different bits of the, I mean, it's incredible. When you consider the difficulty that mobile phone manufacturers seem to have with keeping their mobile phones up to date, for example. And as far as I know, all Tesla Model S's are still getting updates. Even more impressive when you consider that, because in this country they've been out 2.5 years. They've been out in the US for, I think, heading in the direction of 5 years now. Really good job, whoever designed the software for these cars. I'm gonna give this door one last go. I still think the answer is WD-40. See, that time it was perfect. I don't know, I don't know. WD-40, it's got to be.
Thanks, Sophie.
Come on, Kate.
Thanks.
I want some cup of tea.
Oh, where's the chocolate sprinkles?
Okay, so it's been a bit of a ride. Bit of a wild ride, or not a wild ride, perhaps. For the last couple of days anyway, there's been a lot going on. So I think a short recap, and I want to tell you how it's left me feeling. So as most of you probably already know, my car just totally stopped working. It was very inconvenient. it was in an inconvenient place, and it was inconvenient to move. Actually, it wasn't that inconvenient a place because they did have coffee. And I didn't have to sit in a freezing cold car for hours and hours and hours trying to get the thing sorted, because the heating did work, which when it's 1 or 2 degrees outside is actually quite a plus. When you have a car, you rely on it, especially when you've gone to a cottage for New Year's with your family, staying with friends. It's very much, you do not want to be let down in this way. I don't really think that the ultimate problem, the blown ECU or shorted earth to ground fault inside the ECU, it's difficult to know if that's specifically a Tesla problem. It's certainly something that could happen to any car, so it's not an EV specific problem, that I'm quite sure of. Tesla originally quoted me £548. They then did actually try and add on a bit of money for diagnostics. Nobody had told me anything about that. I turned up ready to pay £548. Handily enough, they did discount that, which is something. I feel like a car should last for more than 60,000 miles before it has a critical will not move failure. Maybe that's my naivety. So how's it left me feeling about Tesla? Well, the service from Tesla was great. They picked up the phone, they were responsive, they were friendly, polite, all the things you come to expect. The car was fixed very efficiently and very quickly as well. I mean, they only really had it for about 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, and then it was back in my hands and on the road. That's all certainly very positive. Obviously, my faith in the car has been shaken a little bit, and a little bit concerned about, when I go and do these long road trips, am I going to wind up with hundreds of miles worth of towing that's going to be necessary to get it back to a service centre? That is just something that is par for the course with Tesla. The difference is when you're out of warranty, you have to arrange that and sort it out. On the upside, Jasper did have an amazing time. I was quite lucky that my wife could give me a lift to go pick the car up, otherwise it could have been a lot longer before I got it back. Because of course, unlike when you're in warranty and they come and take your car and then they bring it back as well, generally speaking, you don't get that when you're out of warranty. So I wouldn't characterise it as a positive experience. On the upside, my YouTube channel's had quite a lot of views, so I have really enjoyed my car. I've really enjoyed driving it around. I love the feel of it, the way it drives and responds, and so far, apart from this, it had been reliable. Can't really say that anymore. Well, no, can't really. The other thing is, since I got it back, I've got this door handle that doesn't want to seem to be working properly. I've had a bit of a look online to see if other people have had similar problems. Doesn't seem like they have, particularly. Certainly it isn't the common fault. The common fault is that the door handles come out and then they don't go back in, or that they don't come out in the first place. I could have reached in, of course, through one of the other doors and opened it from the inside, but that's obviously not the way one wants to open a 2-year-old car. I also don't particularly want it to go back to the service centre because it's massively inconvenient. I would prefer the problem just disappear. So yeah, I'm going to carry on driving a Tesla. Absolutely. I bought the car. I'm planning to get 200,000 miles out of it. The only way that won't happen is if it's going to cost some absolutely enormous amount of money to keep on the road, and it shouldn't do that because of the 8-year unlimited mile warranty on the drivetrain. So with the battery, the motor, the inverter, that's all still in warranty. If any of that stuff breaks, they will stick it on the back of a flatbed and take it for me to the service centre and bring it back and give me a courtesy car and do all the usual things they do when they have a warranty fault. It's just the rest of the bits, which unfortunately, and this is the kind of irony of an EV, the bit that's got the longer warranty because everyone was worried about it, is probably the bit that's least likely to actually fail. And all the other bits that every car's got, well, you know, they're going to be just as reliable or unreliable as those bits on any other car. The only difference being, Tesla have been making cars for about, I don't know, a handful of years. Whereas you have the likes of Mercedes and BMW that have been making them for the best part of 100 years. Petrol and diesel cars, they're just hamstrung by a poor choice in technology, if you ask me. Whereas Tesla is hamstrung by the fact that they've still got quite a lot of learning to do, as you would expect. As far as I can tell, they are learning at breakneck speed. else there wouldn't be 3 or 4 revisions to the car basically per week, which really shows the sort of pace of development, and I certainly would buy one again in the future. I don't think that poor quality is endemic to Tesla particularly. I think basically the problem was when they started out, the sort of tier 1 automotive suppliers didn't want to talk to them at all, so they had to basically get their parts from whoever would deal with them. When you consider all these things, I totally understand how there could be some quality issues, especially with the older cars. They did have some reliability issues with the amazingly complicated doors on the Model X, which isn't a massive surprise because they're amazingly complicated and new, and nobody's done that sort of thing before, again. So I think with the Model 3, where they've been a little bit more conservative in their choice of features and options, hopefully things will work out better. I still want to get Sophie Model 3. I know she's got her heart set on a Model X now, so wow. Gonna have to have a much bigger YouTube channel before we can afford that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's blog post. If you have, remember to like it and share it and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye. I'm definitely going to start budgeting a little bit for repairs. You know, I don't know, if I put 50 quid aside a month, hopefully next time something crops up like this, I will have the money to actually pay for the repair, and I'll just be like, okay, so that's, you know, that's 50 quid a month instead of £200 a month in fuel. It's not ideal, but it's doable.